have the same last name I was born with, which is actually pretty fortunate because that means that my family
accepts
me, loves me, and wanted to keep me around. So there was a brief period where I wasn't totally sure that they would, but
your parents are wonderful. I've had dinner with them twice.
yeah, it's true.
You're so fortunate because most parents reject us when we're little. And in the old days, they used to throw us out into the streets. That's why in Washington Square Park, there were so many homeless LGBTQIA people living because the kids had been thrown out of their homes. Because basically we were illegal in the 60s.
Yoo-hoo! Yoo-hoo! Hello everyone, welcome back to our Las Vegas Pride podcast channel. My name is Meliton, your host. I have two amazing guests with me here today. I have Judy Bowenwiener and Amie Dorsey with me. I'm so excited for this. I was looking forward to have a conversation with you guys. Since I came to Vegas, you, Judy, it's one of the icons. I need to say,
I'm still here.
And I saw you, Amie, everywhere, and I think you guys are amazing. It's the perfect example for our community that what's resilience and what's moving forward, and that we are still here and we're still fighting and we're not going to go anywhere. So I'm going to start with, for you, Judy, some questions here. My question, I'm not... A little bit about me, so you understand where I come from with this question. I'm originally from Hungary, and LGBTQIA rights are not really existing in Hungary, so I moved away from it. And I was always looking up to the people in Stonewall, and it was for me someone as a person who is lived in somewhere where it's unacceptable, I'm like, people were amazing back in the day. Like, they stand up and they fought for what they believed in. And I think lots of other people needs to do this. So I would like to see your opinion and maybe some little story time.
Okay,
like,
all right.
How was it?
I'll be glad.
How was it back in the days? If you can tell us anything about those Stonewall movement and your personal experience, what happened there and how you lived through all of that. Because you made a big change. We are here because of you guys.
We did, but it was so many different little groups. I had a group called Transsexuals Anonymous. These were transsexuals who could pass. And in those days, if you were black and you were a light-skinned, you could pass and have a much better life. So the same difference was with transsexuals. We could pass as females. We could go anywhere we wanted to. We could get jobs. We could do and live a good, decent, normal life. But it was the ones who did not necessarily pass that were abused. Sylvia Rivera, Marsha P. I loved Marsha. Marsha would be the same age as me right now. But she used to, when I was going through my transition, she would see me dressed in half dress. Because sometimes I had to work as male, and I'd go to work looking like, either way, and she would call me Miss Thing, Thang, Miss Thing, and she was always an inspiration to everybody because she basically worried about people, and she would tell you what to watch out for. But we were basically pretty safe on the Christopher Street, that area, because that was considered one of the safe areas. And those of you who have not seen the Stonewall Forever documentary, it'll show you how the city was laid out. According to the police, we were not allowed to go into certain areas, and we were safer. We were safe in the west side of the village, around NYU, Washington Square Park. So it was survival. We all helped each other, because in the wintertime there was Washington Square Park people. We would sometimes let them sleep on our floors because there was no place for them to sleep. Or sometimes you would you had excess food, you'd make sure you took care of certain people, because it was a sense of community. And I was really active with the Gay Activists Alliance. That was the group that they were really, really very supportive. My boyfriend was a member of the Rockefeller Five, and he's the one that basically got me to move to Christopher Street, because when I was in Long Island, I got arrested because I was in a beauty pageant for Queen of Hearts, and the police came and they arrested 17 people, maybe more, and they threw us all into the prison in the cells in Garden City, Long Island. So that when I got out, I was told, Philip told me, that said, you've got to get out of here. Said, you got to move to Christopher Street. That's the only place you'll be safe. Because trans people were not accepted. We've always fought to be able to live our reality as human beings, but it's never been that way. I lived most of my life in stealth. After the Stonewall was over, I opened up a restaurant in Queens, and one of my sponsors, an attorney, said to me, he said, don't tell people about yourself. Live as a straight woman and run your restaurant. If you tell people, it's not going to be good because they might not accept you. So I had this restaurant for 32 years. I served on community board number 2, serving Queens, Sunnyside, Woodside, Long Island City, Astoria for 15 years. I was on the Waterfront Development Committee. I was Parks Department and the New York City Marathon. That was my life for so long. And the Lions Club, the Long Island City Lions Club, they met at my restaurant. So when it became legal for women to join the Lions Club, they said, well, why don't you let us elect you president? I said, but women aren't allowed to. They said, you would be the first. Of course, they didn't know that I was a transsexual, so I don't know if they ever found out that I was. I don't care anymore. But I'm here, though. But I moved to Vegas in 1999, and I think this is my final resting place.
It's incredible. Like, these stories are I think something what the community needs to hear, because I personally can say I think some of the newer generation, we forget what Pride was all about, what Stonewall was all about, how the movement started originally, and hearing these stories, having you here with me, for me as a legend.
Thank you.
It's I'm honored to have you here. I'm honored to be in your presence because I know that whatever you guys went through back in the days and whatever you guys fought all the way with all the forces, what you guys bring. Without, we wouldn't be here how we are, and I wouldn't be able to sit here having this podcast, publish it to the world.
In reality, though, this country has never treated minorities well at all. Look what we did to the Afro-Americans. Look what we did to the Indians. We've never, and our LGBTQIA, we've never been treated fairly. All we want to do is be treated like human beings and be able to live our reality. That's how I come I met Amie. Amie is my a breath of fresh air, because she's so active and she's so involved in helping make this community better. So it was a blessing that I found her, and we adopted each other. She's my trans daughter, and I was fortunate enough to meet her parents twice and have dinner with them. And by spending time with them, I realized how come she had such a good, strong strength going for her. Just the way she was brought up and accepted by her parents.
Well, I'm fortunate to have the parents that I have, and both mothers that I have. And I think how many of us are lucky enough to live next to our heroes and just be inspired every day. And see Judy's generosity and love for the community. Just to see it and to be near it and to be inspired by it is such a gift. So yeah, there is such an interesting sort of generational moment where Judy's generation had to be so brave and so loud and so visible at a time when the consequences could, include death,
Yes.
And I feel like I'm a member of an in-between generation where we're sort of progressing towards acceptance. And obviously there's a crazy backlash right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
This dehumanizing.
We shall overcome.
And we have to keep that refrain in our hearts. We have to keep singing it. And I think we are on the path towards, full embrace and acceptance. And it's really interesting and it's so wonderful. Like it's so rare to have a trans elder, and a trans ancient, not to call you old.
Oh. No, I'm lucky. I just feel very happy to be here every day.
Yeah.
I wake up and I say, oh, it's another day. What am I going to do?
Mm-hmm. But you're the bridge to the, your evidence of where we sort of came from and the struggle that we've had to endure to get to where we are and where we will be in the future.
But we have to stick together. We need to have the whole LGBTQIA plus community working more closely together. And I thank God we have Las Vegas Pride with Brady McGill, that he's always been a strong supporter of us. And I don't know what he would have done without us, we would have done without him, because he's all inclusive. And a couple of years ago, we had a group called Trans United that's with Tanya Alexander in the Pride Parade. You're going to love meeting Tanya. But Tanya, for years, has opened up her home. It's not just a home; it's a mansion. It's valued at $3 million.
Playgirl Mansion.
And we named it the Playgirl Mansion. It's a place where we all get together and we can just be ourselves. So if you ever want to come over, just let us know. And but she inspires me because she doesn't have to do half the things that she does. She worries about everybody. We had a meeting with her Wednesday, and she's getting ready to go on a cruise because she's not as old as me, but she's in her 70s, I think. Right?
Yeah.
But we have to just keep helping each other.
Yes. Maybe you should join to the cruise with her.
Well, you know what? We went to the New York City Pride Parade last year, and we've spent 3 days together, and it was really wonderful. Was it last year or the year
I
before?
think it was 2 years ago, 2024, because, we still had a better president back then.
Yes.
Yes.
By the way, real quick story. I was not there. I couldn't make it that weekend. But Judy basically snuck her way back to backstage for the sort of federal ceremony at Stonewall. This is back when the federal government acknowledged that trans people were part of Stonewall. And at some point, someone from the administration was like, "You're not supposed to be here."
Nobody's We had the security guards leading us to our table. No one asked him to. He just went ahead and because
That's because everyone loves you and everyone wants to take care of you.
Yes.
I think that most of our country loves and accepts us as people, and I think trans people, we really, really want to be a greater part of the community and do more to help people. Like one of our programs, can I get that? One of our programs with this, we just finished our 7th year last year. That was my 81st birthday. This year went on my 82nd birthday. Pride is, Brady McGill has always been a part of this. But we raise lots of money and we buy brand new coats from Burlington Coat to give out at the center. John Waldron at the Gay and Lesbian Center. He's always been supportive of us as well. I just want to see all the groups work more closely together to help each other, because it makes the whole trip much easier, because we're all under attack, and we all need to support each other's in the struggle to survive. It's a struggle to survive, and you just came from a country that was totally dictatorial,
Yes.
a dictator. Well, we have an aspiring dictator here,
Yes.
and he's frightening. I just wish that, and I pray to God that we survive this. We haven't, I don't think we've we haven't really seen the worst of times yet, but we have to keep fighting for our equality and our right to be who we are. And the LGBTQIA, all of us together, we make a strong force.
Yes.
One thing I would add to that, by the way, is and Brady Miguel is just such an outstanding supporter of the trans community. It's just
Yes.
like it's so important and so valuable in the Las Vegas community. But we need to stay affiliated. You know, we need to have all of our kind of small groups band together because I do think that we appreciate each other's special and unique contributions.
Yeah.
I think that gay men contribute something different than lesbian women contribute something different than transgender people, than non-binary people who are under the trans umbrella, of course. And we all have our gifts to share with each other and also with society at large. And I think just as soon as we are loved, then we can share those gifts, and we make all the entire society richer as a result.
And we can all make this world a better place if we all join together. Make this world a better place if we can. But I grew up in the old days when the music was, every song had a meaning to it. I'm very much into early Motown because I think the Motown era, every song had a story about afflictions, things that they had to live through. But I think that with our community, we, as Amie just said, we have to join together and just keep in mind what they suffered in the civil rights movement. In the early days when we were starting the civil rights thing in New York, I got my strength through remembering what the Martin Luther King and all the other people were going through, and all the atrocities that were thrown at people who were of different color. We just have to start being and learn to love each other and work together as human beings.
That's pretty much the whole message of what I was trying to do with this podcast, if I'm really honest. From the beginning, I felt when I joined Pride 2 years ago that one of the big issue what we faced a little bit, it was a little bit everything going everywhere. There was communities here, communities there, communities there. And I really wanted to make sure that we have this space with this podcast where we can join together and invite the people in so they can see that we are still here. What's the stories? What's the real story behind it? Because like I mentioned in the beginning, when I go to, for me it's different because I didn't have as bad as you guys had it, but I know that people didn't had, I know the Hungarian version of not being fully accepted and you hiding and you just trying to force yourself to be a straight person or conform with what should be the norm, what I lived my teenager years before I moved here. And for me, it was always about the community and working together and creating a force, but it's hard to reckon with. Like, you don't mess with us because we are here and we are lots of us here. So, but once I started seeing it, that unfortunately, but it's a good thing. I do not say it's a bad thing for the younger generation that they did got all of that rights and be born into those rights, especially here in the United States. So sometimes when I go to those bars or I see some people in my age or younger, I'm like, hey, do you want to come to Pride events and let's work together? Like, let's create some safe space. And they're like, yeah, but we are fine. I'm like, but you don't see it. Like we know, like someone who is like me, who is super politically active, there are hundreds of legislations introduced to take our rights away. There is constant attacks against trans rights, against LGBTQIA rights. Just because it's not in the mainstream media, that it do not mean that it's not happening. Every state has some restriction. More and more states having restriction of our rights, especially on trans rights. And I think bringing it out to the public so people can hear it here or listen to the podcast, it's a really important thing for us to to start working more together again, because we are under attack, especially under this administration. Much as we really
Yes.
want to go Reddit or not, though this administration is awful, this administration want to bring back before the civil rights movement, before the Stonewall movements. So one of that question for you guys, it's what do you guys think we can do better as a community? Not just Pride as all together in Vegas, in the United States, to get better together. And as a, from you, Judy, one of the advice who went through already one of these movements, what's the warning signs and what we should really look for to not go back, what we should not let just be silent about?
We've got to create more communication. And Amie agrees with me on this. we do have a communication problem within every community, because nobody really understands, and let's just try to create a better understanding of what each of us can do. As a trans person, even at my age, I'm 82, I'll be 82 on September the 3rd, I wake up every morning looking for something to do with my life, because I'm not dead yet. I'm still here. So I get up with my dogs and my cats, and we go outside and I take care of my plants. But I was, like yesterday was my day for calling people that I hadn't heard from for a while. So make sure you have everybody's number, because if someone disappears and you don't hear from them for a while, find out what happened.
Mm-hmm.
You got to make those people feel that we need you. We need you back to working with us. And we're opening up the UCC church. It's called a Abundant Peace Church. We're opening up the 26th.
Yep.
You talk about that.
890 East Sahara, 10:30 a.m. on Sunday the 26th of April. It's a radically inclusive UCC church. I've been a member for about 3 years now, since Judy brought me in. Very trans-accepting church.
And I was brought to that church by Nikki Woods. Nikki Woods is, we now have a clothing boutique shop named the Nikki Woods in her honor, because Nikki Woods and I worked together for a long time with the Salvation Army, trying to create space for people to live, and also clothing. So that's what that project is all about. and Brady's always worked with us on that. But we need people to come to the church, and we're going to start programs and just be together.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely need to get that information, because I was raised as a evangelic.
Me too.
And it's a hard hard view sometimes for LGBTQIA people. So for me, I give up on it because of the church. I didn't give up on my faith. I have my personal connection with God in my way.
God is always with me.
Yeah. But not with the organized way, because I feel they're not representing the message of
I think that my
teaching.
survival has been greatly due to the fact that I had a connection with God. I feel that I felt like I mattered, or I had a sense of belonging. And God has been good to me all these years. I had a terrible early life. How I survived, I'll never know, but I somehow did. And I think if survival is part of it, if you survive and you can go through all that you go through, you become a stronger person, whether you want to or not. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, I think there is value in struggle, and I think that with that younger community that doesn't see sort of where we came from, there's that opportunity to sort of like be ignorant of it, and that's why it's so important to like know about Stonewall and know what happened, and know that like this was the police who were repressing.
Yes,
it
wasn't just a gang that it was the law enforcement who were supposed to be there to protect you.
Yeah.
I'm inspired by Amie, because she gives me hope for the future. If we have more people like Amie, and also we have people on our steering committee from the center, we have Soleil
McCants.
Yeah, she's from Caesars. And we
Lucas
have
Serrano.
Holly.
Yeah.
And Lucas.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it's all we all get up tied up in our own little world sometimes. But we got to remember, we've all got to slow down and work with each other.
I can't wait to have them on the podcast. I know they are on
Oh,
the.
you're going to love Tanya. You're going to love Tanya's energy.
Mm-hmm.
We traveled together to New York, to the New York City Pride Parade, and we were both speakers. And if you have 7,000 people in the street, she knows how to reach out to people. And I really admire her because she's been through so much in her life, but she sees that the only way it's going to work is if we all work together.
Yeah.
No division at all. We might not always like each other. I mean, if you got brothers and sisters, you don't always like them, but you got to get along.
Yes. And there was this really, really awful post I saw a couple of days ago from some LGBTQIA members. I'm not going to name names on this one, but there was a couple of people who, for me, I was like, I can't even affiliate with this person anymore after this post and these sentiments, when now there is this new movement when people start like, well, we should remove the T from LGBT. We should remove some part of that because it's not the same. And I'm like, what's wrong with you? You know your history. And that's the thing, like, know your history. Because without trans people, without queer people, we wouldn't be here. Like, they were the first one.
And honey, I used to be the G, I used to be the B, you know. Who knows, maybe I'll turn out to be the L. You know, it's like I've been all these letters, and like, you know, we can, I don't know, we all need to stay united and team up together, you know.
I got to tell you a funny little story, and I'll be very quick. I really will.
Take your time. Take your time.
When I was in my working days, working in offices after I left the University of Tennessee, I just wanted to work as Judy. But trans people weren't safe in those days. You weren't. If you were gay or you were lesbian, you were okay. But if you were trans, you were considered mentally deranged. So I'm working for this accounting firm, and this guy came to me and he said, "You're a lesbian, aren't you?" I said, "Yes, but don't tell everybody," because I knew that that's okay. Classify me a lesbian or gay, whatever, but don't classify me trans. Because we had to run from that word, because if you were trans, you could very easily just be taken away. For mental evaluations, for shock therapy.
Yeah.
That almost happened to me at 12 years old.
Oh, my God.
And I would never have survived that. That is no way of just let us live our reality, let us be free, let us develop in our own way. I'm really proud of myself that much I've developed over the years, and I survived. I didn't think I would. But I've become a stronger person. And I see more than I should want to see sometimes. But we've got to all sort of survive it, because it's not going to be a nice world for a couple of years. And all of us join together and fight together, because that's the only way we're going to... See, we just can't go into hiding, because we just got to be visible. Visibility is the best key. Yeah. The girl that just was won Miss Nevada, Cataluna Enriquez, she was our first trans ever to win a state title, and she lives here in Vegas, and she won it on visibility. And God, is she beautiful. Every time I see a video that she's in, I say, oh my God, she's just beautiful. And we're so very proud of her. And but you got to keep yourself visible. Don't be ashamed of who you are. Be proud, because people will understand.
Yes.
When they see it, when they, you know what I mean. Once we share it, once we show our faces, our spirit, and our talents, and there's so much talent, you know, in the trans community. It's just it's worth sharing, you know.
Oh yeah, we've come a long way.
And I know that is the chorus. But it was amazing. I was there for the center event.
Oh, cool.
On the transgender visibility. I was like, oh, that chorus was amazing. I loved
thank
it.
you. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know what we would have done without her. She's great. She gets it together.
I think y'all are talking about the song Magic that
Magic,
I made.
yes.
Yeah. I'm still proud of that song and just what it says about our community and
Our job is to make people feel good about themselves.
Yes.
Don't let people bring you down. Just feel good about yourself. You're special. That's what the word is, special. And you can do anything you want to do. And just keep going.
Yes. Thank you. I'm trying not to be crying.
I know.
And for you, Amie, like what would you say is you imagining the future for us as
Yeah. I think that we need to sort of move forward courageously and share our experiences, share our stories, and meet the community and make eye contact. Actually, like see people and say, "Hey, I'm a human being just like you," because I think that's disarming. I think that people are afraid of trans people, which is so interesting.
It's crazy.
Yeah, we're not. We're nothing to be afraid of.
We're becoming more, now that we're more visible, where people are beginning to understand that we're special. We're very special.
And we are a little bit different. You know what I mean? Like we're not just we're not typical necessarily, but we are valuable and we're interesting.
And as my personal experience, I can say that I was really lucky back in Hungary because my family was really acceptable from the beginning. So I have a really really diverse family.
Yes, you're so blessed.
Yeah, I was. I know, and I know my family. It's amazing. And I was really young when actually I was introduced to my aunt makeup artist. Was back in the day a male, and a couple of years later, I remember she was like, "Oh, that's her." Was transitioning. I was like, oh, and I was like 6 years old, 7, and I'm like, how does this work? So he sit down with me, and in like a really conservative Hungarian country where it's not acceptable, any of that, he was like, yeah, let me explain to you, and my family was really okay with it, and I think I was 7, 8 years old when I had my first experience with a transgender person, and for me that became natural because I got it really early, in a really explanatory way, like just sit down at 6, 7 years old, I tell you what happened, I tell you what's happened. And I think that's one of the reasons what you said, Judy, like being visible for every people. That's how you can make it a norm, but it's never gonna go away. I think in the future, like long as people know about it, what is it, and they can see it in their neighbors, in their school, in their friendship, like in their life as a personal experience, you get more accepted because you don't believe all of those noise what politics makes, all of that noise what the media makes. It doesn't matter anymore when you have your personal relationship with this. Yeah, you're like, oh wait, that's not what the media say. That's stupid.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the reasons, like what you guys said, like being visible. I think it's one of the most important part for the trans community, for the LGBTQIA community, because once people experience it, they're like, oh, I don't need to be scared.
Yeah, exactly.
They get to understand. Now, when I moved to Vegas in 1999, I suddenly became a board member of my HOA. I've been on the board for 28 years. I served as president for 7 years. And now, though, people started finding out about me because I'm on television a lot. and they say, they come around, they talk to me. About
a little group of old ladies marched up to your front door, right?
I have 3 little ladies come to my door and say, can we talk to you? I said, sure. What about? What is a transsexual? I tell them. And we talk and talk and talk. And they know about the center. They know about our clothing drive. In fact, our HOA donates more money every year to them. So people are people. But my neighbor, who was a staunch, real heavy Italian, he said, "Oh, I just saw the center that you work at as a volunteer on TV. They have a new clinic down there." I said, "Yeah, it's really they offer medical care for everybody."
Yeah.
So they start understanding. So whenever we get new people into the community, like we have 3 new families moving in, I got to slowly break them in. Because it's all about understanding that everybody's different.
Yes.
Yeah, right. It's about appreciating difference versus striving for sameness.
Yes.
You know, that's the sort of like the fascist mindset is basically like, let's all just stay similar enough to each other, and then we'll cast out anybody who we see as a little bit different, rather than being open to the fact that like humanity is complex and beautiful and different, right? It takes an appreciation and an open-mindedness, and then you get rewarded for that. You know, there's so much beauty that comes from that, from all sides of that. You know?
And you can't live a lie. You've got to live to be yourself.
Yes.
One of the first things I learned from Las Vegas Pride is I was speaking at a breakfast a few years ago, and someone said, "You've got to work for a company that accepts your difference," as most banks do now that are more up to date. But you've got to be able not to be ashamed of who you are, because it'll show in your demeanor that you're nervous. But be proud to say, "Yes, I'm a transsexual. I've been married for 42 years with the same man." But you got to be honest about yourself.
Yeah.
And you got to be wide open about not being ashamed of who you are.
And that's definitely one thing I learned from Pride too, because when I came to the United States, I was one of that really hardly accepting myself person.
Yeah.
Took me years, and I know how hard is it for people who even from the United States, if you are from an area where it's super conservative, super religious, and you only see the bad thing about it. I understand how hard it's to truly believe in yourself and accept yourself. But my personal advice, just find your community, because once you find it, for me it was Pride. Once I moved here, because first I lived in LA for a year, and I didn't really find anybody there because it was way too big. It was the community it's a little different. I was only 20, so I couldn't really go to the bars. Everything it's about the bars in LA.
That's what's wrong.
Yes.
It's not at the bars.
Yes.
It's getting involved in the community.
Yeah.
Like with Las Vegas Pride. And your community groups, you can do a lot of great work.
And once I find this, and once I find Brady, once I find Freddie.
We love Brady.
We love Brady.
Brady has encouraged us, the trans community, to go on and on and on. In fact, one year with Tanya's group, we won 2 awards. The first time that a trans group has ever won, the Trans United, for the largest contingent of people. Was it that was what it was?
Yeah, and Judy and I were 2 of the judges, and we may have favored the trans group a little bit, but it's about time we got a bit of an edge. So.
Yes.
And we said to Brady, "Can we go down to the gate and say hello to everybody?" He's always said, "Okay." So we were so proud when we saw the whole. We had what was it? It was a bus. No, was it
Like an RV.
Oh, she had her RV. Oh, decorated to the hilt with trans stuff.
And a big community. I mean, a huge contingent of trans people from Las Vegas marching.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter if you're trans or if you're transsexual or transvestite. We're all human beings.
Yes.
And there's no big difference in any of us. We're just trying to learn self-expression.
Yes.
Because we're all searching to be our reality. And the only way we can find out our reality is trying different avenues of expression.
Yes.
And I love Josie. I love Josie.
Josie Cavallari.
Isn't she great?
Yeah.
And McCoy.
Oh, yeah, Jim McCoy. I love Jim
Yeah.
McCoy.
Jim McCoy's
Auntie
too.
Norma.
My drag mom and my drag auntie there. So
okay.
I started doing some drag.
I did not know that. What's your name? What's your drag?
Melodrama.
Oh, very
Oh,
good.
I like that melodrama.
It's not as good yet, so I'm still trying.
That's good though. But just freedom to be who you are and how you express yourself, that's so important. And no government has the right to tell you that you can't do
No
a
religion.
self-expression.
Yes.
No company.
100%.
Yeah.
Through God, all things are possible.
Yes.
And God is with us.
And I think to echo what both of you are saying, the journey is internal and external. Right?
Yes.
Yes,
So we need the
yes.
support of our community, and also we need to love ourselves. And I can say from my own personal experience that in the process of learning to love myself, I've just changed into a different, happier version.
Yes.
It's made my life infinitely better. And if I were to give any advice for the community today, it's just stay strong, stick around. We're in this together, and it's going to be better on the other side. So
Yes.
And we need more people like Brady, and we need more people like John
Like you.
Waldron.
Yep.
yeah,
But they've got to all join together and work together. Because, groups by themselves don't do as well. But we've got to support each other,
Yes.
whether it's financial or any other way.
Yes.
And that's reality.
Yes. I would like to ask one personal thing. I had a plan, and I really want to make it happen for the parade of next year, for this year. Because last year it was rained out, so I did not have a
yes.
chance.
It was
As
terrible
it was,
storm.
it was terrible storm, and I did not have a chance to do my parade as Mr. Las Vegas Pride last year. And for this year, I told the board already that I would like to do something different, because always the royalty was always in a bus and in a car and people waving. I don't want to do that. What I would like to do is go back to the root where this movement was. And if you guys would be, it would be my honor if you guys can walk with me on the parade,
I'd be honored.
I would
with
too.
me. No cars,
When
nothing.
you say walking,
Walking.
not on roller skates.
No.
I'm not good on roller skates. And those motorbikes, forget that too.
She still gets around pretty good.
Someone almost ran me over with a motorbike the other day. I said, oh my God.
I know I hate them. That's the campus when I'm in college, everybody's going with it. And I was like, you're going to hit me.
So we march in a group.
Yes, I would like to march, not the cars. I would like to ask people from the community. We're going to put out a sign-up sheet that whoever wants to walk with Mr. Las Vegas Pride can walk. It's not about you are this group or that group. I would like to do my part as Mr. Las Vegas Pride, walk with the people,
Fabulous.
not on the pedestal or anything,
and
just
let's-
with the regular, everyday people.
And let's get Percy Neves, who was also in the parade with me one year as Marshal.
Yeah.
I really love Percy. Percy really was there to help us on the Trans Day of Visibility. But
Yeah.
that night,
Oh yeah, he's a strong
People,
contributor to the community for sure.
showed up to help us, even though he doesn't work at the center anymore. But he showed up to help us.
So whoever wants to join, I say to the camera.
Would you do it?
Oh, absolutely.
I'll do it too, as long as I don't have to use roller
Thank
skates. And I'll bring a bottle of water too.
Smart.
I bring a bottle of vodka. But
And I think you should announce when the festival is going to be.
oh yeah, it's so the parade. It's on October 9th, on the same location as every year. The festival is gonna be in October 17th, and between it's gonna be a rave. But I'm really excited. But
Wow. Okay.
on the 10th, after the parade, we gonna have a rave at Area 15. So
Oh, fun.
if you would love to come to the rave, come to the rave, Judy.
I go there a lot.
Yeah,
I go to rave.
come to the rave.
I mean, AR 15 is once a month, right?
Yeah,
For bingo.
For the bingo.
This
Now-
is different though. The rave is different than bingo. This is a little more intense than that.
The rave, it's electronic music, so it's gonna be like DJs doing that.
You have to shake your butt.
I can do that.
I believe in you. I know you can do that. So those are the big events for this year, and I think we're gonna have a really strong community this year. I'm really believing it.
Oh, we've
because
got to.
Yeah.
I'm
and-
working on it hard to invite everybody here and make this space for everyone.
And encourage people, if they need help or something, to contact any of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're thinking about starting another organization called Butterflies.
Oh yeah. The what is it called?
Butterflies Forever.
Yeah, it's Butterfly something. What was it? Yeah.
It would
The
be-
Butterfly Coalition.
It'd be a group of people who are trying to make people's lives better.
Sort of a mutual aid society.
Like
yeah.
if they need clothes or if they need furniture, whatever.
Yeah.
There's so many resources in the community, and there's
Oh,
you know,
God.
you
Yeah.
just take care of each other by passing the resources around.
We hope we could possibly do this through the church, the Abundant Peace Church the new church that we're opening up.
Yeah.
And Wilford Moore, he deserves our love and respect.
He's been a warrior.
This is his long dream. Brady's going to be there. He promised me he would. But Wilford is a school teacher, and he puts so much money into the church. So we have to help him make his dream
Yes.
come true.
And finally, I can say that I can't wait to look it up, because I was looking for some place where I can feel safe, because it's hard. It's really hard to find.
Well, Amy sings there, not there every week, but she sings. And the secretary of the church is a trans. We have a lot of trans people there. We have a lot of gays. We have everything. UCC is all inclusive.
Yeah, and Abundant Peace is our tagline is a radically inclusive.
Yes.
I know some of those Christian fanatics probably gotta lose their mind, but there's a space for us too. Sorry.
And we claim that space. We claim that space now.
Yes, and we claim it, and we're never gonna give it up. So
And I have bad news for like the extremely conservative Christians, which is that Jesus would have loved the trans people and would have totally hung out with us.
Yes.
Yeah.
yes, and probably would not be super happy about the current Republican-loving Christian community who is deporting people, but it's against the Bible version. Don't wanna give free food for the children. Don't wanna give free food for the poor. We're helping to the rich. I think everything, but it's under the Bible. It's
People-
against.
People like that, they create their own destruction.
Yes.
Because if you're not a giver, I think happiness in life is being able to give and help other people. I was brought up very poor, but that was always the way my mother taught me. What you give, you get back.
Yes. 100%.
Always worry about other people too, and get everybody's telephone number, keep track of them, make sure that they're okay.
Yes. We need to stay
Yes.
strong together. And I think we are about to out of time. I would love to say again, thank you so much.
Oh, you're
to coming.
welcome.
It's
This is a pleasure
It
because
is a pleasure, yeah.
because we were looking forward to this too.
I was looking forward. So it was my honor to be you guys. It's
Well, sure. Thanks for having me. Las Vegas and America, like this is a living legend to
yes.
to appreciate.
I'm still here,
Yeah, and she's still here.
and I'm queer. I never liked that word. I've been
Yeah.
called everything in the book. But you know what? Names don't bother me. Just smile. If people try to put you down, they're putting themselves down.
Yes.
You know that's true, though.
Yep.
Anybody that's here talking bad about somebody else, they're not hurting the other person, they're hurting themselves. Because you can't respect a person that's going to be down on somebody else.
True.
You can't trust them when you turn your back.
100%.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Follow us in every shape and form. Follow us in every social media platform. We have an Instagram page. We have a Facebook page. We have a TikTok channel. And you guys can find us on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Our name is Las Vegas Pride
Could I say
Podcast.
something?
Yes.
Please donate to Las Vegas Pride. Our budget was cut. We need money. It's expensive to do a parade. And Brady does so much with all the people that he works with. So
Yes, every penny of every dollar goes to good use.
make sure your donations are made out to Las Vegas Pride, Brady McGill.
Yes. Please, we appreciate every dollar, cents, pennies. And let's see you guys next week. I can't wait when this is going to be airing. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
I love all of you guys.
Yoo-hoo. Yoo-hoo.